Hello everyone, I'm here with my next video on the chapter The Lost Child by Mulk Anand, and this is for the students of class 9. Let us quickly read the summary of the story. It was the season of spring. The people of the village came out of their houses in colorful attire and walked towards the fair. A child, along with his parents, was going to the fair and was very excited and happy. He was attracted to the stalls of toy and sweets. Though his father got angry, but his mother pacified him and diverted his attention towards other things. The child moved forward, but once again lagged behind because his eyes were caught by one thing or the other every now and then. There was a vast field full of bright yellow-colored mustard flowers. They seemed like flowing streams of gold and were widespread. A group of dragonflies, black bees, and butterflies buzzed around, sucking the nectar from the flowers. The child looked at them as they flew around. When one of them sat somewhere, he tried to catch them, but the tiny creature would fly away the next instant. The child ran towards his parents. He walked next to them, but after few steps he stopped to see the insects that were coming out of the soil. Once again the child was left behind. The parents called him. They sat next to a well under the shady trees. The child once again ran and joined his parents. As the child entered the shady forested area, he was welcomed by a shower of flowers. He forgot his parents and started collecting the petals that were falling. Just then he heard the cooing of doves and was excited to hear them. He started running around the tree to see the birds, and in the process the petals fell from his hand. As they moved forward, the child wanted the various things on the stalls. His mouth watered seeing sweets decorated with gold and silver leaves. He wanted his favorite barfi, but knowing that his parents would refuse on the ground that he was greedy, he walked ahead. Then he saw beautiful garlands of gulmohar, but didn't ask for it. Then he saw balloons, but he knew very well that his parents would deny due to the fact that he was too old to play with balloons. So he walked away. Then he saw a snake charmer and a roundabout swing. As he stopped to ask his parents for the permission to enjoy the swing, to his astonishment there was no reply. Neither his father nor his mother was there. Now the child realized that he was lost. He ran here and there but could not find them. The place was overcrowded. He got terrified, but suddenly a kind-hearted man took him in his arms and consoled the bitterly weeping child. He asked if he would like to have a joyride, but the child sobbed, "I want my father, I want my mother." The man offered him sweets, balloons, and garlands, but the child kept sobbing, "I want my father, I want my mother." So that was the story. Now let us start with question and answers. Question 1. Describe the village scene when people were heading towards the fair. It was springtime. A crowd of men, women, and children were going to the fair. They were dressed in colorful clothes. Some of them were on foot, some rode on horses, while others went in bullock carts. There were many shops on the way. People were in a joyful mood. The little child too was joyfully going to the fair with his parents. Question 2. How did the child try to catch one of the dragonflies? Was he able to catch one? The answer is, there was a mustard field before the child. He saw a group of dragonflies in the field. One dragonfly stilled its wings and rested. The boy tried to catch it, which flew away and could not be caught by him. Question 3. What was the child's reaction on seeing the sweet seller? At the sweetmeat shop on the entrance of the fair, the child saw an architecture of many colored sweets that made his eyes open wide and left his mouth filled with water. He longed to have his favorite barfi but instinctively knew that his parents would not buy him any, so he moved on without waiting for an answer. Question 4. Why did the child go to the snake charmer? Why did he not stay there? The child saw a snake charmer. He was playing the flute before the snake. The music charmed the boy greatly, but he did not stay there and moved away. He knew his parents had forbidden him to hear such music. They thought it was coarse music. Question 5. Why did the child feel both repelled and fascinated by the fair? The child looked at the crowd and became uneasy because he had never seen so many people before. Question 6. Parents were in a hurry to reach the fair, but the child was delaying them. How? The answer is, the child was getting tempted by all distractions available on the way to the fair. The toys at the toy shop tempted the little boy. He wanted to buy them, but his father looked at him with red eyes and his mother told him to see what else was there further. On walking further, he saw yellow mustard fields. They seemed like flowing streams of gold and were widespread. A group of dragonflies, black bees, and butterflies buzzed around, sucking the nectar from the flowers. The child looked at them as they flew around. When one of the dragonflies sat somewhere, he tried to catch them, but the tiny creatures would fly away the next instant. The child ran towards his parents. He walked next to them, but after a few steps he stopped to see the insects that were coming out of the soil. Once again the child was left behind. The parents called him. They sat next to a well under a shady tree. The child once again ran and joined his parents. As the child entered the shady forested area, he was welcomed by a shower of flowers. He forgot his parents and started collecting the petals that were falling. Just then he heard the cooing of doves and was excited to hear them. He started running around the tree to find the birds, and in the process the petals fell from his hand. The parents called the child, who was running and playing around a banyan tree. They lifted him and walked down a narrow twisting lane through which they crossed the mustard fields and reached the fair. Question 7. Why couldn't the child get the garland of flowers for himself? The answer is, the child wanted to get the garland of gulmohar flowers for himself, but he asked for it in a half-murmuring voice only. Actually, he knew that his parents would refuse by saying that those flowers were cheap. Question 8. How did the balloons fascinate the child? Was he able to buy any? Why? Why not? The sight of many colored balloons flying in the air from the balloon seller's pole attracted the child, and his heart was filled with an overwhelming desire to possess all those balloons. But alas, he could not dare to ask his parents to buy him balloons for fear of getting a no from them on pretext that he was too old to play with the balloons. Question 9. How did the child realize that his parents were not with him? What was his immediate reaction? On not getting any reply to his bold request for a ride on a roundabout, the child turned back and noticed that his parents were not there. He realized that at this moment that he had got lost. Filled with fear and panic, he ran wailing in all directions, called aloud for his parents. He panicked when he could not spot his parents in the large crowd of people around him. He ran all over looking for them. Feeling lonely and afraid, he cried inconsolably. On reaching the temple door, the lost child got caught between the legs of the crowd that was jostling with each other to get into the shrine. The child got knocked down and would have got trampled if the kind man had not rescued him after hearing his loud cry. Question 10. Why did the man offer to buy things for the child? The man who rescued the child was getting trampled, tried to pacify him so he would feel safe. He offered to buy the boy things in order to help him feel secure and asked him about his family and home. Question 11. What do you think happens in the end? Does the child find his parents? The answer is the lost child was fortunate enough to have been picked up by a kind and affectionate soul. This man must have gone out of his way to trace the lost child's mother and father and must have succeeded in reuniting him with his parents. Question 12. The child was denied everything by his parents. Why then did his love for them not lessen in any way? The answer is the child had come to the fair with his parents to have fun and to enjoy the festive spirit like others. Although he wanted to have many things at the fair, he knew that he could not have them because his parents disliked those things. Although he was denied everything that he asked for, his love for them did not lessen. He enjoyed the natural beauty and satisfied himself by simply looking at the things he liked but could not have. He accompanied them obediently and did not throw any tantrum or compel them in any way to buy him sweets, garlands, balloons, etc. His deep love for them can be seen when he gets separated from them. He misses them terribly and feels lonely. At that time, his only concern is to get them back. Question 13. Write a note on the theme of the story, The Lost Child. The story, The Lost Child, is based on child psychology. A child is curious by nature. He is attracted by beautiful things. He wishes to possess everything which looks attractive. However, he takes interest in these things only when he is in the company of his parents. But when he is lost, these things lose their charm for him. In this story, a child goes to a fair with his parents. He is attracted by different things. He wishes to buy balloons, sweets, and garlands of gulmohar. He wishes to enjoy a ride in the roundabout. But suddenly he finds that his parents are missing. Now he starts weeping. A kind man tries to console him. He offers to buy him a number of things. But the child goes on weeping. He wants only his parents. Question 14. Compare the child's behavior before and after he lost his parents. The answer is, before losing his parents, the child is in a happy, cheerful and playful mood. He gets attracted to many things on the way but follows his parents' call whenever they ask him to. He is amazed by the beauty of nature and enjoys it in his innocent way. He feels secure in the presence of his parents, and so he does not even wait for their response when he demands things from them. However, on getting separated, he is filled with fear and panic. He cries inconsolably and gets lost in a large crowd of people all around. He refuses to accept even those things that he had wanted a little while ago. Everything else loses value in his eyes in the absence of his parents. His laughter and happiness are replaced by insecurity and fear. Question 15. Suppose you have gone to a fair. Your parents refuse to buy certain things for you. How will you react? The answer is, I will not feel very bad. I will leave it to my parents what to buy and what not to buy. My parents know what is best for me. They know my likes and dislikes. They have to take into consideration so many things before spending their money. They have to meet so many expenses of the household. They have to see that no harm comes to me. So they are the best judge and know what is good for me. So they should decide to buy the things needed by me. I hope this video was helpful to you. Do write in the comment section how you felt the video and which part of the story you liked the most. Bye.